Welcome to Midwives Uncut.
Ooh. Yeah. So we haven't done a video in a while, and we really want to touch base because we kept getting feedback from everybody. Oh, we learned so much from your videos, which makes us super happy.
Yeah.
So we figure, okay, well, what can we talk about next? Because I love that you guys love our videos, but please provide us with things that you'd like us to talk about, because we kind of run low on ideas.
Well, you know, we're also so busy that we're just like running. If we had something specifically, then we'd be like, oh, we gotta stop and do that real quick.
Yes.
It would be nice to like in between clinic, but you know, life of a midwife is like...
Yeah. You got 5 minutes, quick, grab a camera. So what we did think about was we were getting a lot of like people saying, okay, well, like when they came for their initial visit, they would say, okay, well, what do I need to do?
Right.
So we thought, all right, you find out you're pregnant. So what should be like the things that you start to think about now, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously, the first thing is you want to prepare to schedule your first visit with whoever your provider is going to be. Mm-hmm. Now, I have found people get crazy with, well, shouldn't I see you at like 4 weeks or 6 weeks, and don't I need blood work, and don't I need
Well, that's
this?
because if they went to an OB, they would see you at that time because they're gonna do like a confirmation ultrasound. But not everybody wants that or needs that.
You peed on a stick, it said yes, right? All right, let's see what happens. I mean, I think that people need to understand that bodies, you know, grow things differently. Yep. And just because you find out early or you don't, that doesn't mean you can always control what happens.
What nature has in store.
Exactly. And so that one, respecting the natural process is really important. And then finding the right provider. So this is your time to start interviewing, researching, understanding all your birth options.
Right.
And what provider will be best for you depending on what you're doing, right?
And the best advice that I can also give is try to do this research with your partner, because it's really important, if you have a partner, that they are on board with your prenatal and birthing plans. Because if, one of you wants to birth at the hospital and the other one doesn't, that's going to be like a clash. But let's research both. Let's do pros and cons and see, well, this provider can do this, this, and this. And this provider can do this, this, and this. This is the experience I'm going to get here. This is the experience I'm going to get over here. That way you both can make that decision together and, go through this journey together on the same page.
In a more peaceful way.
Not arguing all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I think ultimately, I think the birthing woman should be the final decider, because it's going to be the journey that she is actually going through. But because the partners are such a vital role, that you do want to make sure that you can agree and come to
you want to feel supported, and you want to feel that you're doing this together, not like, okay, well, I want to do this and I'm just going to do it on my own. You shouldn't feel that way.
So always making sure you explore home birth, birthing center, hospital, what do you want? Midwife, OB, what's your style? CNM, licensed midwife, which way?
Right.
And then, there is genetic testing that is offered at certain times. So we always tell our clients, if to schedule your initial should be around 10 to 12 weeks.
Yes.
That way we can kind of make sure that if you do want genetic, which is not mandatory, right?
It was your choice.
People come in with this idea that they have to do that. I'm like, oh my gosh, well, you have so many choices. Let me get out the list of how many choices you have.
Yeah, and that's another difference. We base our care on the midwifery model of care, which is women-centered, women-based. You should always be in control of your care. You should understand the terms. You should understand what tests are being done, why they're being done, and you should know ahead of time so that you can go mentally preparing for them.
Exactly.
So that you can make the informed decision.
Yes. So you have that, and then so once you realize, okay, I'm almost 10 to 12 weeks, I've interviewed a few providers, this is who I picked, then you schedule your first visit, right? And then you still need to develop your birth team.
Yep.
So it's not just the provider, who else is going to be there? We love doulas.
Yes.
We strongly encourage every birthing person to have a doula. That way your whole, like you and your partner get to enjoy the experience without the pressure of all the responsibility of taking care of the birthing person, right?
Yes.
So doulas are great. So you can, just as you interview providers, you interview doulas. You want to make sure that you feel happy and comfy. And if you go to our page, we're going to have some great doulas there if you're local.
Well, also, it's nice to start establishing that relationship with your doula and your team early on so that when you do get to the birth part of it, because birth is just one part of the journey.
Yeah.
But it's a huge part, obviously.
Climax, but still.
And it's a time where you are vulnerable, where it's very personal, it's very intimate. So whoever your birth team is, you should feel totally comfortable and confident with that team so that you don't have to worry about who's there or who's going to be there. You already know.
It also helps when you have a good team so that when changes happen that aren't in your mind, that you are more comfortable with those changes because your whole team understands it and is flowing with you. So that's when they say you get better birth outcomes. It's for that. It's like, okay, even if changes happen, I still feel happy about it because my whole team was with me during the process.
Yes.
So very, very important. And then the only other thing that we thought of that would be really good is that, because they're always like, well, what else do yoga, what do I do? Nutrition.
Oh, so big on nutrition.
The sooner you can start eating healthier for you and baby, the better off your pregnancy is going to be. I think.
Having a good routine. So we never encourage that you start a new exercise in pregnancy because your body is changing so much. Your body should already be used to whatever you're doing. So if you were, let's say, walking once a day, continue doing that.
Yeah.
If you were going to the gym, continue going to the gym.
Right.
Stay at the weight that you're at. Like, don't go up in weight. Stay exactly where you are. But continue that because your body's already conditioned for that, and it's going to help in the long run so that you stay strong, you stay toned, and you stay active.
Maybe don't try a new diet like some people try to go vegetarian or do
Yeah, don't. No.
That might not be the time.
No. Yeah, and we've had people do that where they're like, well, I'm gonna go vegan for my pregnancy. We're like, your body's not used to that, so you don't want to shock it. Your body's already getting shocked with the changes of pregnancy.
Like, it's hard. Like, I remember when I was transitioning, I had to learn how to get more protein. We already tell our moms you have to double your protein when you're pregnant.
For sure.
So just stick with your normal diet that you have now, but start making sure you're focusing on more protein, calcium, and water.
Yeah, so ideally you should be having 3 meals, 3 snacks, because that's what your body is burning through every day. Your body is creating stores, it's growing a baby, it's creating red blood cells, it's doing all these things, working on double time. So you have to give it the nourishment so that you have the fuel to be able to do these things. So
I feel like we provide such good nutritional information, and I think it's because when we had our experiences, many moons ago, there was zero. When I mean zero,
I gained 60 pounds in my first pregnancy.
65 with my first one.
Actually, no, 65. It was 65. Yeah, same thing.
The same. And the only thing that my provider told me was, instead of 2 Big Macs, maybe have 1. First of all, I didn't eat Big Macs back then, but still, I didn't eat as healthy as I do now. But I wasn't a Big Mac person. But I was like 1 instead of 2.
I didn't even get that. No one even told me anything about my weight. No one ever told me anything about my weight. Every time I would go to my visit, they would say nothing. And I mean, I look back at my pictures now, and I felt like I looked like a big old rolling ball. Like I just blew up so bad.
I always grow my butt first.
I was a lot younger, so I did lose the weight, but
breastfeeding will help with that tremendously. But you do have to eat healthy to be able to go back to where you are.
Exactly. Yeah, but I wasn't. I tried from what I knew, but I was over carbing myself, you wouldn't believe, because that's what was easy. I was working full time, running around, and just grabbing whatever I could.
Grab and go.
I ate Hot Pockets.
Oh, it's like confessions. I had Arby's once.
I never forget. I ate Hot Pockets, and then I remember my healthy snack was like a yogurt that had the fruit in it, so it had so much sugar in it, right? Yeah. And in my head, I said, "This is the healthy snack,"
I love it when they tell you have a yogurt after, like, let's say you did some type of antibiotic or you need probiotics, and we're doing like a sugary yolk. I was like, well, I'm
like 40 grams of sugar.
Feed the yeast here.
Yeah,
here.
terrible.
Yeah.
I can honestly say that I learned a lot about nutrition because I was a WIC mom. WIC is a federally funded program called Women, Infant, and Children.
Yes.
And in order for you to get the food vouchers, you have to also do their nutrition classes and their breastfeeding classes. So that's the only place I got any kind of information.
They're very helpful. Oh,
yeah.
If you have every state has
yes.
you should definitely,
If you qualify, you should absolutely look into it.
And even for our moms that don't qualify for it, we still provide them a lot of their handouts because they're just so informative. But the main thing is protein. You need to double it, and it doesn't matter what your source of protein is. If you're a vegan, if you're a meat eater, it doesn't matter. Just get double your protein.
Yeah.
And then the second thing, we always say vegetables because not only are they high in calcium, which we want you to have, but they're also high in other vitamins and minerals.
Fiber.
Yes, which you're going to need a lot of. So,
and lots of water. You should have anywhere between 8 ounces per 10 pounds of body fat, or half your weight in water, however you want to slice it. But
eyes crisscross when she says that. I'm like, I just take my weight, cut it in half, and that's how many ounces I need to focus on.
Water is huge. One, you're flushing your kidneys, but you're also flushing your baby's kidneys with the amount of water. So if you're not drinking any water, your baby's kidneys are also suffering. So when I say it like that,
like fluid.
Exactly. When I say it like that, they're like, okay, I gotta do it for the baby. Do it for yourself too, but do it for the baby.
You must take care of yourself first to be able to take care of others.
That's right.
That's important because that plays into the postpartum as well, which we're not going to talk about today, but you do. And that's why the airplanes always say, please first apply the mask to yourself in an emergency and then apply to people next to you.
Exactly. So yes, nutrition should start way in the beginning. I mean, a lot of times you may feel a little nauseous or sick, but there are ways and things that you can do to help with that so that you can still give your body the nutrients that it needs.
Ooh, that's another good video we can do. When you're not feeling good, like some tricks from midwives.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be another video.
Like B6 and all that fun
things
stuff.
like that. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
So picking your team, starting your nutrition from early on, and getting in a good routine with it. So you want to stick with it so that when you are breastfeeding and you're busy and you're running around, you're also remembering that your nutrition is priority because you're burning lots of calories. You're burning 500 to 800 calories a day. That's a lot. So you need to give yourself the nutrients, but I am guilty of that, and I know you are guilty of that as moms. We're like, okay, the baby has to eat, the baby has to get changed, and then what about us? And then we're like working on fumes at the end.
This is why meal prepping is so vital.
Yes.
I love meal
prepping.
My God. From pregnancy, you should start it. It's just easy for you.
That way you continue it.
Yes. I still do it now, and I have no more babies. But yes, good things to know. And also don't freak out about like, I have to get this done. I have to get this. Oh my gosh, just enjoy the fact that you're pregnant and don't worry about all the interventions. Like they can wait. And then just start preparing slowly, but make it enjoyable. Don't feel like it's a stressful event.
Right.
It should be a fun, enjoyable thing.
I guess the only thing that I can say is because eventually you look into childbirth classes that include nutrition, stages of labor, coping techniques, breathing, doulas, breastfeeding, postpartum, all that stuff. But early on, if you wanted to start educating yourself, maybe start educating yourself on some good readings. Be careful what you find on social media. I have to tell you about this video that I found, or this website about saying that colostrum is not breast milk and you're starving your baby.
What?
On the internet. Yes. So be careful. As a board certified lactation consultant, when I see those things, I am horrified because obviously I'm educated and I know better, but there are moms that don't.
And that's so sad.
It is sad. So be very careful what you read online. Always fact check your information and make sure that it's coming from a valid source. And I'll give you an example. So not to bash any websites, but there are websites that are actually funded by formula companies and there are websites that are not. So obviously you're going to get a lot of ads, of formula ads, and not that I'm bashing formula, but I'm just giving you that as an example. So it might persuade the mom that is kind of on the fence about breastfeeding to go to formula because it's saying things like, closest to breast milk as possible. It helps to build your baby's, brain function and all this stuff. So stuff like that. Social media, you're going to have a lot of, posts sometimes that might be biased in one way or the other, very opinionated.
Yeah.
So just be careful what you watch, what you read, what you listen to on podcasts.
Yeah.
Because we live in that world where
it's too much.
It's too much.
And it's not always accurate.
Right. So looking into some good books would be an idea, like until you get to your childbirth classes, and kind of sticking to like one person's information.
Yeah. And remember, this is a very amazing journey that you are embarking on. And really, like, just be happy, be blessed with it, and just enjoy the moment.
Yeah. Enjoy this journey.
Thank you all. Like, subscribe. It's somewhere on the bottom here. And then we'll see you next time. Thank you.